Hey, Seth Lewis. Just really excited. I have 3 days left in my pre-sale book launch, and I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about a couple of things that were going on, why I wrote the book, what are some of the things that you can do, what if you don't care about the book, what if you don't read books, how can you support, and just kind of dive into just a couple things. So, one, if you've been following along, I just want to challenge you to grab a ticket, grab a copy of the book. Basically, what tickets are, and just to clarify, a ticket gives you access to one of my future events. So a launch event, it's live or in person. Live or virtual. So you have either option. And I'm going to be talking about why score is so important. I can remember going to a football game, with my mom, Penn State. So I'm a Penn State fan, and it just really struck me that there's so many people in these stands. So there's over 100,000 people at a Penn State football game. And there's one thing that rallies everybody together to cheer, to do everything. It rallies the players, the fans. Even the DJ is in a crazy thing to play the right songs at the right times. And I just realized that it was such a powerful tool, and we're not using that in our businesses and organizations. So that's one thing. The other thing is, what do we put on the scoreboard? So that was the other thing that we had to study, and we came up with front leading metrics. We basically saw that KPIs haven't been working. It's amazing how many people have come to me in this process said, you know what, we have all these KPIs and they're not hitting the nail on the head. So I believe that front leading metrics is a different way that we teach it, solves a lot of the challenges. So for instance, when you have a fire, things that aren't going well, or things you want to make impact on. So I'm just going to use firefighting for an example. I gave that example the other day, but we have to use front leading metrics to identify what is the earliest possible impact item that we can change and make impact in our organization. This sounds easy, and most people say, I'm already doing that. Chances are, the way that we're teaching it, you're not. We've seen over and over again that we've only get to this point when really there's something that we didn't think about that can really make impact. So front leading metrics are a big thing. Getting your team with score. If you have score and can rally your people behind you, it aligns people. It drives people forward. It lessens the weight of business owners and leaders. People say, well, this is just for business owners. No, and if you lead people, we talk about cash, people, and business processes. I would argue this same philosophy can work in your home. It's a little bit different, but it's for business owners and leaders, or anybody that's managing people. So we're looking at, how do we clarify, how do we rally the team, how do we communicate better, and just and improve life. I mean, when you look at this, it actually creates organization. It creates your organization to grow, to predict certain challenges. When you think about sales, or you think about an outcome that you want, a lot of times you look at the results and you say, well, hey, it didn't happen. So with this system in front leading metrics, it's ensuring that you get the result that you ultimately want by the activities that we're doing. But there's a process to this. It works every time if you follow the process. Let me talk a little bit about the book journey, and where we're at in it. So this is a pre-sale campaign. So what this does is it helps show support of the book. So I want to thank everybody that's been a part, that the orders have been coming in, and it's a part for the publisher. So this goes towards helping get the book published, and a lot of the different things behind the scenes. It helps show the publisher that there's support that, people are either supporting me. So it's one thing you can say, well, we're just going to try to pay for the whole thing. But that's not what this is about. It's about gaining support in the community, because it's signaling to the publisher that there's enough support around this topic. So I want to thank you for supporting it, sharing, liking, contributing. And then the cool thing with this go around is there's so many options. So if you have a business, you can actually, I have a 4-week session where you can create a scoreboard for your organization. That's so cool. That's different from the past. You can actually get a session for your team and work for your team, or you can just get a copy of the book. So there's a lot of different options. You can get on my podcast. If you say, I want to get on my podcast, I've had people say, hey, I want to get on the podcast and put a message out there. There's that option. So all of this just shows that there's activity and supporting me, and you don't even have to read the book. That's the funny thing. People say, well, why would you even say that? Well, it's about showing that there's enough, because somebody else out there needs to hear how to improve maybe their business, how to run it a little bit better, how to improve their cash. I mean, there isn't I talk to a lot of business owners around the country, and there's one consensus, whether they admit it or not, cash is always on their mind. So if you can improve cash flow, if you can do that, then this is the ticket for you. And also people. If you lead any people, if you interact with any people, people is another thing that we want to understand and improve in the process. And then lastly, I just said process. Processes are the next thing that we need to do. If we want to scale, we have to understand what is the right data, the score that we're looking at, that we can scale the business and do that. We do that through processes. Processes allow us to scale past the limiting of just ourselves. So this is really exciting stuff. I would ask that you share it. I mean, there's 3 days left to jump in. There's a lot of different options. You can go to bluecollarbusinesscoach.net. At the top, there's a button to join in that'll take you to the page to see all the options. I'm just so thankful for everybody that has been a part of it so far. It actually wears me out, to be honest. I've posted more content in the last 30 days than I have in a long time. It's a lot of work. But I'm so thankful when I see people contribute to help and get this going. It just spreads the word. So I just want to say thank you. I'm just really grateful for everybody in the network that's willing to help out with this. It's a bigger mission. My goal with this, again, it's starting. It's real small right now, but my goal is a big goal. So I want to impact and have 100,000 business owners implementing my scaling scoreboard process. I mean, that's my goal. I'm setting out there. I'm throwing it out there. And I'm just inviting people to follow along and do this. So spread it, like it, share it. There's going to be more to come. If you're in as a part of it, you get your name in my book, which I think is so cool. Getting your name in my book. Let's just talk about that for a minute. So how many times when I look at different things, whether it's, Facebook, Steve Jobs, all these other places, the people that were around in the beginning, I think are so cool. Whether they're involved or they're not, but wherever this book goes, you will be a part of an early contributor, somebody that is, the pre-sale gets your name in my book. So I think that's so cool, because one of you had a chance to do that. So that is really, really special, really cool. By being a part of the process, you get your name in the book. There's going to be some other perks from now till when it actually comes out, which will be in the fall. There'll be some other things. We'll get a chance to pick the title, name it. I'll be doing some other training stuff. So just a lot of cool things behind it. So again, thank you everybody for doing this. 3 days left. Let's get a final push. We have a little bit yet to go. So just rallying some of the people here to just get behind it. If you've been following and you haven't got it, go to the site, click it, get it, share it, do a team event. Do some things like that. So thank you so much. There'll be a couple more posts that I'll be putting out, but don't wait. Jump in, share it, like it. Thanks for being a part of the community.